Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the stock show coming at you weekly on Sundays. So, we are going to explore the history making rally and the news the week that was for the stocks, and also look at some charts and look at our cheat sheet. But wherever you are tuning in from around the world, I want to welcome you to the show. Thanks for watching. And of course, before we jump into all the news and the charts, you know what I'm going to say. If you're a regular watcher, smash that like button. That does help get this content out to more people and does help to support the show. And I really appreciate all the kind words and encouragement that people leave in the comments section. I do respond and read to all of those, as well as all the questions. I do look to get back to those as soon as possible. And of course, we're going to jump into the cheat sheet at the moment. And I do get asked, some people ask, where is the stocks cheat sheet? But it is linked as the top link in this description here. So it's easy to find. And once you click on there, then you just look down the bottom and look for the stocks section. And there you can get to the stocks section of the cheat sheet there, okay? And of course, what else we have below? We have the Stocks with Josh Discord, the most amazing Discord on the planet, filled with just incredible people, a wonderful community. And if you'd like to be a part of that community, I'm in the Discord each day interacting. To be, certainly there is a link below in the description as well, and it's also linked in my cheat sheet. All right, we're going to look at the week that was, and we're going to talk about the history making rally and where does it rank in history. And of course, first of all, let's look at, this is one of the craziest years in the markets in decades. The S&P is up 22% year to date, having its best performance in the 27 years, hitting 47 all-time highs this year. Looks like gold is up, silver has rallied, oil is crashing though, like a global recession is coming. Utility stocks are having one of the best years this century. Global central banks are cutting rates as if a global recession is already here, and US public debt is skyrocketing. And so the VIX and the MOVE index, this volatility of stocks and bonds, are trading like something bad is cooking in the markets. What is happening here? Certainly a lot of mixed signals, I would say, in regards to that. And of course, as we look into it, we are witnessing history. And this is what the title of this video is all about. Today, rally put the S&P 500 directly up 40% over the last 12 months. This is a larger 12-month gain than any annual return dating back to 1954. And how did this generational rally occur during times of historic uncertainty? Let's have a little bit of a deep dive. And so for the last 100 years, the S&P 500, the average return has been about 10%. So we've seen a 4x, 4 times the average return. And the last time we saw this was after the World War II ended and the US emerged as a superpower. And if you put this in perspective, the S&P is now worth a record $48.6 trillion over the last $48.6 trillion over the last 12 months alone. The index has added 14 trillion of market cap. That's 1.17 trillion per month for 12 consecutive months. And here's the list of the annual gains in stock market history. And as you can see here, there's been some pretty good years. And if we open this up a little bit better, we can see, some of the years there with that. And so, as we continue to go down, that the market has had just about every reason to fall heading into 2024. The Fed pivot and inflation, election year, and certainly as we continue to go down here, election years being bad for the stock market is a huge myth. This study goes on to say, and certainly dating back to 1928, the S&P 500 returned an average of 11.3% during election years. 19 of the 23 years provided positive performance. And you can see there are slightly better returns depending on who is elected, but overall, the election years, there is a very good result there. So we are part of a history-making rally, and this is why in my cheat sheet we have take profits, because I believe in taking profits on the way up. And I think that the goal should be, or my goal anyway, because this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Said the great Maximus Decimus Meridius from the movie Gladiator there. Of course, MicroStrategy has been one of those that has really outperformed the market. And here, Timothy Peterson, must be a pretty cool guy, approximates a 2x leverage Bitcoin ETF. And so what he's saying is basically if Bitcoin gets to 70K, which is around about where we are now, MicroStrategy should be about 235. If we get to 80,000, this is his prediction for as Bitcoin moves up. And I don't disagree with this. I would expect the same kind of returns. And I actually do expect MicroStrategy to get to around $400 or over $400 in this Bitcoin bull market cycle if it plays out as it has already, and if it continues to play out as it has done historically. I do feel this is what we should necessarily see. And then as we continue on here, that we have now Microsoft, of course, the news that Microsoft has put it up to the vote that whether they should accumulate some Bitcoin, but they have actually advised their members not to vote yes, but to vote no. But of course, this is it the first or the second largest shareholder in Microsoft is actually BlackRock. And I feel that BlackRock has a Bitcoin ETF and is very bullish on Bitcoin. So we could see this pass the vote. And if Microsoft members vote yes, and Microsoft is to acquire some Bitcoin, that will probably leave a domino effect and a lot of other companies. What will happen, in my opinion, if this happens? And the reason why, of course, is I've shared about fair accounting. Bitcoin has not been under fair accounting. It has been under antiquated, out of date, not fair accounting. It's not called not fair accounting, but I'm calling it not fair accounting, where if people held Bitcoin like MicroStrategy over a period of time and the price of Bitcoin was 70,000, but during the reporting period, Bitcoin had been 50,000 or 40,000, that MicroStrategy would have had to say on their balance sheet at the lowest price, not the current price of 70,000. So now it's just going to be whatever the price is at the time, so that they can actually properly record it on their balance sheet. And earnings are very important to companies and to shareholders for future share market price and people making money. So people haven't really been keen to do that. Companies, apart from Tesla and apart from MicroStrategy, and they have been the two of the great performers, as we'll see in our cheat sheet. I believe some of the others will follow. Microsoft, if their vote comes in and they're to acquire Bitcoin, that is going to skyrocket the price of Bitcoin. I believe it's going to skyrocket the price of Microsoft because they'll look at MicroStrategy and see what's happened. And then other companies, perhaps like Apple and Nvidia maybe, and some of the others may then begin to follow suit and put Bitcoin on their balance sheets. And of course, this could be a nice little strategy there. What do we have? Buy the company that's mining Bitcoin. I'm just going to minimize myself here. Buy the company that's mining the Bitcoin, Mara. Buy the company that's selling the Bitcoin, Coinbase. And buy the company that's buying the Bitcoin, MicroStrategy. And of course, we have Coinbase, and MicroStrategy both on our cheat sheet. Certainly, I know some of you are invested in Mara. We don't have that on the cheat sheet there. Maybe we should add that, but certainly I'm not trading Mara at the time because I feel that there are better returns in MicroStrategy and Coinbase at the moment, and this is certainly proving to be the case. All right, so let's look in the charts and let's look at the cheat sheet here, and we're going to completely minimize me here. And so what you can see is on the cheat sheet we have different tabs down the bottom. We just simply pivot to the stocks tab. If you need somewhere to trade, certainly Moomoo is somewhere. There's a referral link where you can get claim 8.1% APY on your money and 15 free stocks there. So there's a referral link there for you. I do really like that exchange, that brokerage. That is certainly my favorite out of all that I trade on. So here we go. So we got all of our entries on Apple, but we'll start with the S&P 500, which we did manage to snag at 538. We had a little aggressive kind of just in case buy, and that's really paid off because we're able to take some profits at 560 there with that. And as we jump over to the charts here on the S&P 500, certainly there's not, we're just waiting for that to get up to 610. We're certainly just waiting to take profit up at 610. All right, we come down into Apple, and Apple's sitting at 230. There was some entries there for Apple that we gave on the cheat sheet, down to 220, 210, 195. They all got hit, so we're waiting for 265 to strike there. Certainly, we didn't quite get up there, 236, but we were in the buy zone, and we came down 227, didn't quite get down, but certainly 225 would be an okay entry there, 226. So I'm going to say somewhere between 225 and 230 there could be a new entry for Apple, and we'll look at adding that to the sheet there. I think 220 to 230 there now is acceptable entry for Apple there on the cheat sheet. And then as we jump into Amazon, and Amazon, we did have an entry down here that I gave a few weeks ago when it came down to 180. It hasn't really jumped up and popped up. Certainly the entry now is still going to be around this, anywhere between that 180 to 185 level for Amazon. 180, and we'll just add to 185 there is a level for Amazon. Certainly we're waiting for 200 for that first take profit zone. We got another gift with ASTS dropping down that is certainly in the buy zone right now. Certainly the ideal entry is going to be down here around $21. Certainly a break and retest here of 27, but we're certainly in the buy zone there, certainly in the accumulation area here. For ASTS, we already were able to take profit off the table on that one, and now we're looking to come back to get into the trade. Now, Coinbase, we had entries at 160, 185, 200, and then obviously we've got a take profit up there. Let's have a look where we are at Coinbase. So Coinbase, if we look to come back to about 195 here, or down to 181, those would be the areas that I would look to snag some more Coinbase. Otherwise, as we saw, we did actually come up to this 220 range, which was quite good for Coinbase, and we were able to get some profit there, and then you can come back and add back to the trade. This is why it's in yellow, because we've had a second grab. So we've had one take profit, and we've had two entries there for Coinbase. We've had two entries for ASTS, two entries on Amazon because we've come back and tagged it again, and we just had the one entries there as well. And then Google, probably the one that is, imagine if Google comes out and just totally buys some Bitcoin. This will send the price parabolic, but certainly the entry, the buy zone there, 164 down to about 160. Beautiful buy zone entry there. We can see how it's interacting with 200 EMA on the 4 hour. Let's switch to the daily time frame here. So certainly we have that 161 and even down to 160. So this area here we've sat around. So I was able to collect some more Google there, and certainly it's looking quite bullish. We've had a beautiful V-shaped recovery there. We're starting to set some higher lows, and we do have a little bit of a channel here, a wedge that this could even be seen as a bit of a bull flag here that we have here. And so I do see some bullish things on Google for the horizon. This is one that we have a trade right now, and so I'm going to put it in here and say this was a trade that is current. This is one that can be snagged right now, and we're looking at 190, 260, and 300 to the upside to Google. As we start to move out of these profit zones, I'll start to add more here. Obviously, there's no point adding when we haven't even gotten to our first level here, but obviously for MicroStrategy, certainly we have our next target here at the $260 level. And then Meta, our entries were down at 490. Our take profits were 540. And obviously, if we come down around here, this 490 level there for Meta, certainly we're at about 570. Did we tag one of our take profits? No, we're up there at 665. So certainly there for Meta, we could probably add, what do we got there for Meta? We can probably update that one here. I do like it around 490. 500 there, 490 to 500. So we certainly could put this now, update this as to 500 as a first entry there for the Meta stock there that we have. And then certainly as we jump into MicroStrategy, so there's the MicroStrategy trade there, and absolutely been a cracker. Certainly we did get stopped at the 1414. This is why the Fibonacci's are so important. But I am looking for that 260. Obviously, we've created a new range here. So at some point once we establish a clear range here, we might now be trading between 200 and say 240 or 260 if we get up there. And then I would establish a new range here. NVIDIA here, as we jump into NVIDIA, certainly we have the entries that we had all the way down. We're at 140 now. Where are we there? We were able to take profit on our very first one there. We're looking for 180, and if we come back, we're looking at that 115 level there. September, now it took till into October until we've kind of hit our first take profit zone here around the beginning of October, around $130, and we took some profits there off the table, and now we're moving higher for NVIDIA there. And then if we move into Tesla, certainly that has come back and hit our level. That's our next level, pink. So it just keeps hitting. I've moved from orange to yellow to pink. I'll need to put a color code here on there. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. There are so many colors with Tesla, but this has been the gift that has kept giving for Tesla as we jump to it. Absolutely phenomenal here. And again, it hit our take profit. Again, you could have gotten back in the trade there for yet another trade, and then we take profit at that 260. Obviously, we're looking for this to break, and so yeah, this is take profit for me right here. Certainly, we're at the top of the range. What we're looking for now is if we break above and we establish, like happened with MicroStrategy, and we start to create a new range there for Tesla, and certainly we can see some more take profit levels to the upside there with Tesla as well. And certainly, I did forget we missed Palantir. Certainly up at our take profit level at 45. So these have all been hit here. So really only Microsoft a bit of a laggard. And so this was the buy zone that I gave you here. Back just about 10 days ago, I gave you multiple buy zones and entries for Microsoft. And so if you got those entries in Microsoft, people are starting to front run this now with the news that they may add Bitcoin to their balance sheets. So if it were to come down 420, I think anywhere between 420 and 410 would be an entry. Previously, it was around 400. So if we look there for Microsoft, this is still an entry for Microsoft. So we're going to put yellow there that we still have an entry. So we have two stocks where we have still an entry. Google and Microsoft are the two laggards that there could be still opportunity there to jump in. What are we there at 428? So well, it's technically in the 420s, but certainly I think a retest here of this 419, 420 level, the 50-day moving average would be better if we flip onto the 4-hour chart there. Certainly, yes, around 421, 422. You don't have to wait. You don't want to be, oh, no, I missed Microsoft by $1. Just grab it at 421, 423. And certainly, if you don't want to squibble about $7, you try and jump in on this trade. We do have a Lux Algo order block there, so there could be a little bit of resistance, as you can see here, and maybe we'll pull back to this mid 420s area. So I'm going to leave Microsoft as a buy. I'm quite bullish on it. I do feel with BlackRock being the second biggest shareholder or the first biggest shareholder there, we could see some significant upside. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show today. And until the next episode, Monday, we're coming Monday with the crypto show. We go live with that around about 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, the altcoin show coming up at around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 days a week. And then we'll see you at the stock show next Sunday. Until then, happy trading.